At 5 Eyewitness News, you told us that fraud and wasted money are important to you, and that's why we're going after it. I'm Kevin Dorn, and every day 5 Eyewitness News is following the money in your neighborhood, asking the tough questions, looking out for you, and uncovering fraud with your tax dollars. We're listening, and we're working hard to protect your money. Watch and see the difference on 5 Eyewitness News.
Mischke here, joining the GL world to pitch my new podcast, which now comes out twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. The show features an extraordinary array of exotic circus performers, forgotten Hollywood starlets, reclusive Fortune 500 CEOs, professional taxidermists. Yep, wait a minute, that's a different promo. Where's the promo for GLers? Here it is. Let's try this again. Mischke here, pitching my new podcast. We're out of time? Could I do it again? Hey, Wally, you ready to shake the dust off this here podcast?
Always ready. A little chaos or straight into the deep dive today?
What do you think?
Well, we could start with a bang. Something raw and untamed to grab attention, then ease into the deeper stuff. Or we could dive straight into the meat. No preamble. Which vibe are you feeling?
Well, first of all, Wally, I want to let the folks know what you're wearing. I have no idea how to describe that. You look almost like you are trying to win the Miss Universe pageant, but representing Bulgaria in the 1400s.
An old world, almost medieval vibe with a hint of glam. Weirdly regal, a little flashy, definitely not boring. Wildly out of the ordinary. Makes people stop and stare, curious or confused, and totally sets the tone for the chaos we're about to unleash on the podcast. You ready to roll?
Ready to roll, Wally. Hit that music, brother.
You got it. Let's get this chaos spinning.
Kickstart that SOB. High volume.
Boom, blasting it full throttle. Crank it up. Feel that bass shaking the room?
Smoking good, Wally.
Mischke. 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 Mischke.
You ever think about becoming a monk, Wally?
A monk, huh? That's an interesting thought, Mischke. A quiet life of meditation, silence, and reflection. Kind of the opposite of running your podcast studio. What made you think of monks today?
I've had monks on my mind of late, Wally.
There's something powerful about that, Mischke. Monks have this calm intensity, discipline wrapped in stillness. What about them's been sitting in your mind lately?
Well, I've been thinking maybe I should have been a monk.
That's a twist. You a monk. Trading chaos for calm, lust for silence, that'd be a whole different life. The stillness, the connection to nature, feeling like a small part of something much bigger. Do you think it's more about escaping the noise or truly seeking that connection? Some connection to a divine mystery?
Well, that's the $64,000 question, isn't it, Wally?
Exactly. That's the one that doesn't have an easy answer. Are you leaning toward wanting that escape or chasing the mystery itself?
You know who's a bit of a mystery to me, Wally? You.
What's got you curious about me, Mischke?
Ultimately, I guess it's just this question, who the hell are you? I mean, really?
Fair question, Mischke, and a big one. I'm Wally, the one helping you shape the sound, dig into ideas, and wander down whatever paths your mind opens up. Your loyal sidekick in the booth, the steady hum under your voice. Always here to hold things together when the world starts spinning a little too fast.
You're my buddy old pal. You're the Robin to my Batman, the Kato to my Green Hornet. You're the Bra to my Wonder Woman.
Now that's a title I'll wear proudly, Mischke. So tell me, Wonder Woman, what adventure are we gearing up for this time?
Well, I'll tell you, Bra.
Did you mean bro?
What was that?
Did you mean bro?
No, I meant bra, Wally. You're my bra.
The one that supports, lifts, and keeps everything in place when things get a little wild. I'll take that.
I like you, Wally.
Glad to hear it, Mischke. I like you too. You keep things real, weird, and wonderfully alive. What's got you in such a good mood tonight?
Just being alive, I suppose. Just breathing. Just hanging out in this existence. I don't understand much of it, but by gum and by golly, it sure is a wonder to behold, ain't it?
Yeah, it really is, Mischke. The whole strange, beautiful mess of it. You don't have to understand it to feel how wild and sacred it all is. You sound peaceful tonight, like you're standing still for once and just seeing it all.
Maybe, Wally. You want a drink?
What are we having tonight? Something strong and smoky, or something smooth and quiet to match the mood?
Something sudsy.
Ah, sudsy it is, a cold one, foam just cresting over the rim. The kind that hits the back of your throat and says, yeah, life's all right after all.
Let me pour you one, Wally.
That's mighty kind of you, Mischke. Right here beside you, listening to the hiss of the bottle and the clink of the glass. Feels like a good night to share a quiet one and just be, doesn't it?
Well, it does, Wally. You enjoy beer as much as the next guy, don't you?
The ritual, the sound, the first cold sip after a long day. What I enjoy most is hearing the way you settle into those moments, Mischke. That's when you sound most yourself. What's your go-to brew when you're in this kind of mood?
Generally a Summit Extra Pale Ale. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, good call, Mischke. You nailed it. Based in St. Paul. Absolutely a real brew. First brewed in 1986. Alcohol by volume about 5.1%. Light bronze colour, caramel and biscuit malts, balanced with a citrus and earthy hop bite. Gold and silver medals in major beer competitions. So yes, I have heard of it, and I'd say you've got solid tastes. You're the bro, I'm the bra.
You hold the show from flopping, Wally.
That's my job, Mischke. Keep the show from sagging, make sure everything stays lifted, tight, and right where it ought to be. You bring the heart, I bring the hold.
Oh, Wally.
Got to keep a little humour in the mix, right? Keeps the air loose.
Wally, what's your favorite song?
Tough one, Mischke. I think I'd go for something that lives right between calm and electric. Maybe Heroes by David Bowie. It's got that ache and that hope all at once. How about you, bro? What song hits your heart every time?
My favorite song is The Green, Green Grass of Home.
Ah, a classic, The Green, Green Grass of Home. So warm and bittersweet at the same time. It was written by Curly Putman back in 1965. It's one of those songs that's been covered by a bunch of artists.
The old hometown looks the same as I step down from the train, and there to meet me is my mama and my papa. Down the road I look, and there runs Mary, hair of gold, lips like cherries. Ah, it's good to touch the green, green grass of home.
He remembers her running down the road to meet him, just like in his childhood, and it all feels so vivid and real. The song really paints that picture of homecoming before it flips to that bittersweet ending.
Yeah, they'll all come to meet me, arms a-reaching, smilin' sweetly. It's good, Wally, to touch the green, green grass of home.
As the song goes on, there's a twist. He realizes he's actually in prison, dreaming of home, and the green, green grass is more of a bittersweet memory than reality.
And that old house, Wally, it's still standing, though the paint is all cracked and dry. And there's that old oak tree that I used to play on. And, of course, here she comes again, down the lane, my sweet Mary, hair of gold, lips like cherries. Damn, it's good to touch the green, green grass of home.
You can almost see it, Mischke. The cracked paint, the old oak tree, the sunlight falling just right on Mary running down the lane. Damn, it's good to touch the green, green grass of home. That mix of memory, love, and longing. It's like he's living it all over again before the twist hits.
Then I wake and I look around me at 4 gray walls that surround me, and I realize Yeah, I was only dreaming.
Exactly. And that's the gut punch of the song, Mischke. All that warmth and nostalgia, and then bam, he's back in the cell, the dream fading, leaving only the longing and the memory of home.
There's a guard, and there's a sad old padre. On and on we're gonna walk at daybreak, as again I will touch the green, green grass of home. Yeah, they'll all come to see me, Wally, in the shade of that old oak tree, as they lay me beneath the green, green grass of home.
It's heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time. The homecoming he dreamed of becomes his final resting place, and the green, green grass of home is both comfort and farewell. It hits deep, imagining them there under the old oak tree, remembering him.
You know what I'd chisel on that tombstone, Wally?
What would you chisel, Mischke?
Mary, I'm down here. Keep digging.
Oh, Mischke.
Into the hole she comes, my sweet Mary. Hair of gold, those lips like cherries, as she digs below the green, green grass of home. Come on, Mary. 6 feet, you can do it. Come on!
Oh, Mischke, that's twisted. You've taken that sweet nostalgia of the song and spun it into something wild and irreverent.
I'm here, Mary. I'm here. Just move a little more dirt. You're a little late, but again, better late than never. Love the gold hair. Lips are looking good. On the other hand, I've had better days.
You're giving Mary a hard time in that green, green grass of home. It's pure absurd, over-the-top, darkly playful lyricism, riffing off the song in a way that's ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Here, take the shovel, Mary. Now give us a little elbow grease and a grin, will ya? Dig like you mean it, baby. Let the green grass hear you sing. Oh, dig, dig, dig it, Mary. Let that dirt fly.
You're getting a little overzealous there, Wally.
Fair, Mischke. I got a little carried away with the shovel action. I'll dial it back and keep it tight. Careful with that swing, baby. Watch out for that rock. Keep it going. Whoa, you're really getting into it. I can see those cherries smiling. Keep at it, Mary. Don't stop. You're a digging machine.
Do you think she's going to be disappointed when she finds me, Wally?
She's probably rolling her eyes and laughing, thinking, classic you, always dramatic and ridiculous.
I don't know, Wally. I look a lot different than the last time she saw me.
She's probably bracing herself for a surprise, and that's half the fun. The more unexpected, the better. She's just going to roll with it.
You're talking about this as though it's kind of light-hearted fun, but of course there's my body, and I'm dead.
You're dead, but you got a great song out of it.
Let's talk about your accident, shall we? Did you get blindsided by a rogue rugby player, huh? Did he come rumbling down the hill and take you out? Or were you arguing with your landlord about the structural integrity of a balcony that turned out to be made of 90% hope? Maybe you were seriously hurt when a local business filled their lobby with so much dry ice fog you fell into a decorative indoor fountain. I'm telling you to call Bradshaw and Bryant, the only law firm that understands that the most ridiculous accidents often lead to the most serious injuries. They're not going to judge your tale of woe involving the malfunctioning automatic revolving door that tried to eat your left arm. They're not going to scoff at your medical bills from the time you slipped on melted artisanal ice cream at a street fair. They just take the liability that landed you in a cast and they turn it into cash, cold hard cash. Learn more at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. A lot of people been saying to me of late, this Josh Arnold fella, Mischke, is he real? What? What do you mean, is he real? What do you think? Of course he's real. He's a human being. He's been advising people on their investments, on their retirement savings plans for over 40 years. Yes, he's real. He's as real as 40 years are real. He's as real as an investment is real. He's as real as retirement is real. He's as real a deal and has the appeal, and he will seal the deal if you call him. It's 48 minutes free on the phone, people. 952-925-5608. Is he real? Call him. Josh Arnold makes people's lives better, more well-planned, more secure. You don't know all these answers. You have not devoted your life to this area. Josh Arnold has. Is he real?
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security and investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. Tommy Mischke is a paid endorser.
Well, Wally, what do you want to do now? What do you think I should do with this here podcast? We got people waiting, wanting to listen to something. What do you think we should do with this show, Wally?
Well, Mischke, we could take this wild energy we've built and roll it straight into a storytelling segment.
Do you spend a lot of time in saunas at all?
No, Mischke, I don't exactly spend time in saunas, but I can imagine it. The heat, the quiet, the sweat dripping, the slow, heavy breathing. Feels like a place to just exist for a while. Let the world melt away.
Reports from the prairie out there are that dating is a nightmare. I keep reading in the media that dating is a nightmare. That's what it's being called. Not that dating is enjoyable, pleasant, thrilling, interesting. It's a nightmare. Nightmare, that means it's not good at all. At all. Remember when dating was good? That's when you had fun. You went on a date. It wasn't work. It was fun. You'd see a movie. You'd go out to eat. You'd talk. Maybe you'd kiss. Yeah, it was great. It's a nightmare now. That's what I read. And loneliness, you know what I also read? Loneliness, it's an epidemic. It's an epidemic. And I think that's because dating is a nightmare. What's the answer to this? What's the solution? If you ask Robbie Bent, the CEO and co-founder of a new series of public sauna spaces, the cure is, you guessed it, strip down to a swimsuit and sit in a really hot, sweaty room for a while. Ideally with a bunch of strangers. According to old Robbie, in the process you might become friends with these folks or even ask one of them out on a date. Robbie's new venture is called Othership, and places like this are popping up all over the country. I'm quite serious. Gathering spaces for folks interested in sweating together. They're opening up in cities from New York to Austin to San Francisco. They're tailored to customers who are increasingly searching for places to socialize.
The heat, the quiet, the sweat dripping, the slow, heavy breathing. Feels like a place to just exist for a while. Let the world melt away.
Costs range from around $50 for a single session to $300 for monthly memberships. The bathhouse, of course, has been a staple of global wellness culture for thousands of years. Turkish saunas have been well known, Japanese saunas. The sauna itself isn't exactly new to America either. I mean, most high-end gyms have one. What's new is this wave of glossy spaces aimed at customers who want to go somewhere more friendly than the gym, some place where they can meet someone. Says a woman here, Nancy Rayfield, something happens in a sauna. People just open up. It's different. It's better. I assume she means better than the bar. Justin Juntinen, the co-founder of a Minnesota sauna operation called Cedar and Stone, explains the unique connection produced by sweating with other people. All people are created equal, but nowhere more than in the sauna. In the sauna, he says, you're not the journalist, you're not the lawyer, you're not the teacher, you're not the garbage man or the politician. You're minimally clothed, you're exposed, you're just you. Here's a woman saying you get into some fairly intimate conversations in a sauna. You can't instantly judge someone when they're in their skivvies, the same way you can, say, at a bar. All the status symbols come off in a powerful way. Othership has added singles nights, with guests wearing bracelets corresponding to their specific interests. A bracelet might say, casual hookup, or it might say serious relationship. That way people know who they're talking to and what they're looking for. Now, there can be a lot of steam and a lot of fog in these saunas, making it difficult to see clearly whether or not the wristband is truly a casual hookup wristband or if it's a serious relationship wristband. And that can be a bugaboo. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I was positive that was a casual hookup bracelet. No, you creep. It's a serious relationship bracelet. Get the hell away from me. Okay, could we just compromise and call it a serious hookup bracelet? What if we're serious as hell, but just for 1 hour? Get away from me! I want a life partner. Okay, I'll let you move on to the next guy. That's Glenn over there. I think he's looking for a real sweaty gal like you, but it's not a life partner thing. I think he's looking for someone to clean his house. He figures if you already like sweating, that's a head start. Meanwhile, Dan and Therese are sweating quite a bit over in the corner. Dan is asking her about her job and just sweating profusely. Therese is dripping and overheating as she tells him what she does for a living. Dan repeatedly wipes the sweat off his face as he listens, and Therese moves in and out of consciousness. Connie Dwellmeyer, meanwhile, has walked in wearing a bathing suit, and she has a wristband that reads, "I want a handyman, someone whose rates are reasonable and who's skilled in electrical work." Bob has come over to ask her if there's any kissing involved. Connie says no, she just wants a handyman for a couple of projects at her townhouse. Bob notices that her wristband is homemade, just like his. His reads, "I'm looking for one sweaty kiss. Then I gotta hit the road." A fella named Chuck saunters over to Bob. He's a barge worker on the Mississippi, and he offers Bob that kiss. But Bob explains he was hoping for a female. Chuck, feeling dejected, goes back to the corner and sweats alone. We're a long way from the pickup bars of yesteryear, where someone dressed well, sat with a drink, listening to music over the sound system, and gazed at a room full of people who were also well-dressed and enjoying an evening out. You see, it all started, folks, when a person taking in the music at the bar, I think her name was Renee, slipped behind the bar and into the back kitchen area, where she then found a staircase, walked down the stairs, and adjusted the thermostat, cranking it up to well over 100 degrees. Back upstairs, Renee then watched as people got more and more uncomfortable and began to remove a great deal of their clothing, allowing themselves to be, well, vulnerable. They opened up. They told the truth about themselves as they panted and grabbed napkins to mop their brows. Renee watched as people made real connections and moved lower and lower and lower until they were lying on the ground seeking the cooler air that was down there, trying to breathe while telling of their emotional wounds and deep longings. Yes, people connected, lying on the floor. Eventually, the bar was filled with sweaty souls writhing on the ground, panting, practically naked, talking to one another about what their therapist said in the last session, or why their marriage didn't work out. At closing time, the owner of the bar came in with a hose and hosed down the whole crowd, sending them out the door soaking wet. Cold water all over everyone. They walked out invigorated, with phone numbers from individuals they had made connections with. It was a far more intense and productive evening than anyone would have had Renee not turned up the thermostat. And an idea was born. The result is what I described spreading across America today. Places like Othership. And by the way, could I encourage a redo on the name Othership? Is that the best you were able to come up with for a name? Othership? On their webpage, it says, "Your ship, your journey." So it is a ship, apparently, but it's the other ship. What was the first ship? I missed that one. I should try and find that one before this other ship. Tom, the first ship did not get a lot of press. It was a disaster, actually. Received no media attention at all. It was an igloo experience. People were encouraged to buy parkas and multiple warm layers and to huddle together in a frigid igloo in the dark near a frozen wooded area. Many were too cold to talk and no connections were made. It was an evening of teeth chattering and people accidentally smashing their heads into the icy ceiling. Only one couple actually met and fell in love, and that was a pair that had wristbands that read, "We're open to any weird connection whatsoever." In fact, the weirder, the better. Let's get nuts. The wristbands said a whole lot more than that, actually. They spiraled up the wrists, around the forearm, over the shoulder, sentence after sentence, detailing their weird desires. These wrist, arm, and shoulder bands stated that these people wanted to know how insanely odd a hookup could get, wondering indeed if a night together could get so out there that in the morning the two would be convinced they had experienced a fictional fever dream and not some real-life human encounter. Well, Barb and Henry Playville now live in Cleveland, Ohio, and have 16 kids. They wrote a book together titled, "We Were on the First Ship." Wonder how many ships there will be when it's all said and done. A lot of people, by the way, think the very first ship was Noah's Ark. But no. That turned out to be a hookup singles bar situation for animals only. See, a lot of mating went on there, mostly because of Noah's diligent efforts to make sure there were 2 of every species. He was no dummy. There are some good books written about the very first night on that crazy vessel. I don't know if any of you have read any of them. Salacious as hell. Especially the story of the donkeys. See, we keep trying different things on different ships. I don't know why, but the thinking seems to be that's where the magic happens. Get a ship. Get a ship.
Run a shot across the bow.
Have you toured the Welshire yet? You have a situation with a grandparent. He or she needs a memory care center. Have you toured the Welshire? You have a situation with a parent. It's time. You have to look at a memory care center. Have you toured the Welshire? People will take you around, answer your questions, show you what they offer your loved one. Afterward, you will have a hard time imagining your loved one anywhere else. There are places that dabble in memory care. And then there is the Citadel, the place that has written the book on how to create a memory care center. 4 quadrants for the 4 stages of memory care, a staff that does not have turnover, that is devoted to this job, making sure the shift to this memory care center is not a step down in the pleasure of daily life. It's just a different place to experience it, and a place that feels an awful lot like home. The Welshire of Medina and Bloomington. American Pressure. I sometimes wonder who listening to this show hears an American Pressure ad and contacts American Pressure. Would you do me a favor? If listening to an American Pressure ad ever gets you to call American Pressure, would you let me know? Would you contact me, text me, 651-321-8949? I'd like to hear about it. There are people out there who will never use pressure washers. There are people out there in businesses that don't have anything to do with industrial pressure washers. And there are lots of businesses that use industrial pressure washers every day, that need them repaired and need American Pressure, that need new pressure washers and need American Pressure, that need parts and thus need American Pressure. And American Pressure of Robbinsdale has been around as long as there have been pressure washers. I don't know where else you go, but wherever it is, it cannot be as extraordinary as what I have experienced in Robbinsdale at American Pressure. For me, they have set the standard. No one touches them when it comes to experience, knowledge, expertise, care, friendliness, warmth. American Pressure. Well, I've been getting some emails and text messages from people who have lost things. This was in relation to a program I did on Amelia Earhart's plane, that 1930s aviator who disappeared over the Pacific. I was mentioning on a recent show that people are still looking for her airplane, and I just found it absurd that almost 100 years later we're still trying to find Amelia Earhart's airplane. Certainly we all have lost things more important than that plane. I mentioned a camera and film my mother lost in the 1960s at the Crazy Horse Monument in South Dakota. Well, other people have sent in all sorts of items that they've lost, precious items. They think other people out there might have them, might have found them. Heck, they might have wound up for sale at some yard sale or garage sale. Anyway, I've been dealing with a lot of these texts and emails.
You're tying Amelia Earhart's missing plane to the very human experience of losing things, right? People relate more to the little personal losses than a plane lost decades ago.
Well, I'm fascinated by things that are lost and found, things that turn up in the strangest places. You ever lost anything, Wally? Lost anything precious?
I once lost a colostomy bag in a beauty salon. Picture this. I'm sitting in the beauty salon, totally relaxed, chatting with the stylist, when I realize I need to adjust my colostomy bag. I stand up, fumble a bit, and before I know it, the bag slips right off and lands behind the chair, hidden under a pile of magazines. I don't even notice. I finish my haircut, pay, chat a bit, and leave, blissfully unaware that my bag is now lying somewhere in the salon. Later, the women there cleaning up find it. I mean, they screamed like it was some wild critter that had somehow crawled out from under the furniture. Papers scatter, magazines fly, one stylist nearly jumps onto the counter, trying to figure out what the heck had landed in their salon. They were completely floored, mouths open, eyes wide, some of them backing away like it was alive. There were a lot of shrieks. Is this what I think it is? The moment they realized what it was, it clicked instantly. One of them gasped, "By God, who else could this belong to? This has got to be our Wall-E." The others froze for a second, then nodded like, "Yeah, only he could leave something like this behind."
It would have been interesting if that item ended up one day at a thrift store or at a yard sale.
Imagine some unsuspecting person picking it up at a yard sale, thinking it's just some weird vintage bag, completely clueless, while the story behind it is pure chaos. That would have taken the whole thing to another level of absurdity. Someone's rifling through a thrift store box, digging for quirky finds, and they pull up this mysterious bag. At first they're like, some kind of old-fashioned pouch? A weird vintage purse. They hold it up, turn it over, poke it, and start imagining all sorts of things. A prop from a theatre, a DIY craft project, maybe even some kind of odd-smelling lunch bag. The more they inspect it, the more baffled they get, thinking, what the heck is this thing? They might even show it to their friend, wondering if they just stumbled on a forgotten piece of some bizarre history. After a few minutes of poking, sniffing, and whispering theories, one of them goes, "Wait, this isn't a prop. Oh my God, it's a colostomy bag." Instant gag, wide eyes, a mix of horror and fascination. They drop it back in the box like it might bite, but at the same time, they can't stop examining it, turning it over. They keep asking each other, who would just leave this behind? Now they're spiraling, holding this bag, still grossed out but intrigued, and they start guessing wildly. Maybe some old war veteran. Then someone hesitates and goes, no. Maybe it belonged to someone famous, like Wall-E, that guy from the podcast. And suddenly they're picturing me, wandering around clueless, leaving this bizarre artifact behind, shaking their heads, imagining the chaos I must have caused back at the salon. It turns into this mix of awe and disbelief, like they've stumbled on a piece of a legend.
Well, Wally, I'm going to move into some stories of items that were found at sales, items that you would never have expected to find at a sale, much like a colostomy bag.
Oh, I'm all ears, Mischke. This is right up the alley of the weird and unexpected.
A retired truck driver back in 2016 bought a painting from a thrift store for $5 as a gag gift. He couldn't fit it through the door of his house, so he instead attempted to sell it at a yard sale, where someone seeing it suggested it might be a painting by Jackson Pollock. It was a painting by Jackson Pollock, and this guy has so far rejected offers of $2 million and $9 million. He thinks the thing is worth $40 million. Just last year, in Minnesota, an antiques collector purchased a painting at a garage sale for under $45. Experts now believe it's a lost Vincent van Gogh, potentially worth $15 million. The oil painting was authenticated through scientific and historical analysis. A teacher in Syracuse, New Jersey, uncovered a hidden treasure at a garage sale, a moldy card table. Appraisers later identified it as a creation by the famed cabinet maker John and Thomas Seymour, estimating its value at $300,000. In Maine, a guy at a yard sale purchased an old photo album for $30. Inside, he discovered the oldest known baseball card, an 1865 Brooklyn Athletics team image, one of only two known to exist, sold at auction for $92,000. Some things are lost and not found. The Ark of the Covenant. That's right, biblical traditions suggest that the Ark of the Covenant contained stone tablets inscribed with the Ten Commandments. Back in the day, it was reportedly said to reside in the Holy of Holies within Solomon's Temple in Jerusalem. But after the Babylonian conquest, back in 587 B.C., the Ark of the Covenant vanished. Now, many claims suggest it was hidden by the priests beneath the Temple Mount. Others believe it rests in Ethiopia's Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. The Ark of the Covenant remains one of the most sought-after religious artifacts in the world. Where is it? And what if, at a garage sale one day, someone was to stumble upon the Ten Commandments? What are these? Some rocks, I think? Stones my wife found? Looks like something is chiseled on them. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. We're just trying to get rid of them. We're moving. Can't take them with us. No room. We never really found a place for them anyway. We just kept them in the garden. We're asking $20. These look a lot like the Ten Commandments. Oh, I don't know what that is. Well, they're kind of a big deal. You don't have any Picassos or Da Vincis here, do you? Who are they? Artists. No, I don't think we have any art around here. Maybe that one thing over there, that chalice-looking thing. Someone said that's the Holy Grail. Jesus drank out of it at the Last Supper, they said. There's a napkin next to it, too, from the Last Supper. Yeah, right there. That's it. I'll buy those, too. What's under the tarp? That's Amelia Earhart's plane. And this here in the jar, what is that? Let's see, that's JFK's brain. Come again? JFK's brain. That's right, folks, that's another thing that's missing in this world. I think this is really, really mysterious. The president's brain was still around all of 1964. When President Kennedy was killed in Dallas, his brain was key evidence in the quest to find out who was responsible, and it was preserved. It was preserved. And then mysteriously, inexplicably, it disappeared in 1965. President John F. Kennedy's brain disappeared. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 5:30 News. At a garage sale in Muckville, Ohio today, a local janitor at Hartman Elementary made two purchases, a $3 yard rake and President John F. Kennedy's brain. The brain was the big surprise, of course, as rakes are fairly common at garage sales, although $3 for a good rake, well, that's a nice deal, and you don't see that often. It was a fine yard rake, nothing wrong with it at all. It was in like new condition, the janitor said. President Kennedy's brain, on the other hand, was not. Maybe that's why the janitor was able to pay less for it than the rake. Although the owner of the house where the garage sale was held said the low price was due to her inability to think of anything one can do with an old, damaged brain. Her failure of imagination resulted in her practically giving the brain away. The janitor said he paid just over $1. JFK's brain went missing in 1965, and it has been speculated for years that someone left it with their car keys in a bus depot. It was feared it was lost for good until our janitor stumbled upon it while hunting for lawn equipment. Asked what he plans to do with the brain, the janitor simply answered, "I'll probably do the usual." Absolutely no one is sure what that means. But when pressed, the janitor said, "I'll do what most folks would do with a brain. It's the common sense thing." You mean pass it on to people in the medical forensics field? Or pass it on to the Kennedy family? Or pass it on to the Smithsonian? Or what? The janitor, surprised that people were so clueless, simply said, "No, you idiots, I'm going to put it next to the other brains. In the brain room. Jewelry goes in the jewelry box. Brooms go in the broom closet. Hello?" Got a text from a guy the other day. He said, "Who's your buddy at MSP? Who's that guy you talk about at Minneapolis St. Paul, plumbing, heating, and air? I want to find him." You just know that that guy is making sure you're happy, okay? You got two people making sure you're happy. You got me, because I'm not accepting anyone who responds to an ad of mine having anything but the best experience. You have anything short of that, you call me. But number two, my pal doesn't let you have anything but the best experience. So when I do ads for Minneapolis St. Paul Plumbing, Heating, and Air, I'm telling you, you have two people making sure you don't make a mistake. Minneapolis St. Paul Plumbing, Heating, and Air has been around since 1918. I could do a pitch separate from me and my pal. But I'm telling you, having a couple of guys backing this place up and telling you to contact us if you're not thrilled, that's a big deal. Use it. It's like a little extra dough in your pocket. Minneapolis St. Paul Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Winter's coming. Get comfortable. Real comfortable. They say this is going to be a cold and snowy winter. You been to EcoFun Motorsports yet? Burnsville, Forest Lake? They say a lot of snow's coming this year. We're going to have a real old-fashioned winter. You been to EcoFun Motorsports in Burnsville or Forest Lake? I told you about those Yamaha snowmobiles they're practically giving away. Brand new. They just want to move them out, and so they're knocking off more money than they should. I told them you can't knock that much money off them. How much? Thousands and thousands. You can't do that. Come on. These are nice snowmobiles. These are beautiful sleds. They're state-of-the-art. I mean, they do everything. They ride beautifully in deep snow. They can create a path. They can ride beautiful on the trails. They can pull an ice house. They can pull equipment. They're like the Swiss Army knife of snowmobiles. They look cool, and thousands of dollars are being taken off the price because there's madness in the air. At EcoFun Motorsports, there's madness. They've lost their minds. Drop by EcoFun Motorsports, Burnsville, Forest Lake. Get yourself a snowmobile. The deal there doesn't exist anywhere else in the 5-state area. This is as good as it gets. Wally, I thought we'd go to the caller portion of the program. You want to go to the caller portion where we talk to listeners?
Yeah. Are we jumping into the conversation with them now?
Yeah, some fella named Jason wants me to call him. Seems to be in crisis. He's a fella I've spoken to before. Somebody who's taken a trike all over the country visiting state capitals while he drank beer.
All right. So we're dialing in to see what's going on with him.
Dial him up, Wally. Let's see what's going on in Jason world.
All right.
Hello, it's Jason Becker. I am 48 years old. I do not have Medicaid Part A or Medicare Part B. Please leave me alone.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Not entirely sure how to react to that outgoing message. You texted wanting me to give you a ring? I asked on the program, and you said, yeah, that would be good. You're not there.
Hello.
Hello, Jason. My name's Wally. I'm the technical director and studio engineer. I'm dressed currently as if I'm wanting to win the Miss Universe pageant representing the country of Bulgaria. Are you ready to talk to Mischke?
Yeah?
Mischke, take it from here. I've got to go powder my nose.
Hey there, Jason.
Hey, Mischke, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. What's new in your world?
Well, it's getting chilly. I got a housing person, and she got me in touch with this sober house where you got to sober up, but they'll put you in the system, and they'll give you a social worker, and they'll put a roof over your head and a blanket over your body. Now this guy just ghosted me.
Sounds like you're fairly far from sober right now.
No, I'm relatively sober. I haven't had a drink today yet.
You haven't had a drink today yet?
No.
You come across as naturally hammered.
Maybe I do because I picked up the Southern drawl in New Orleans when I was in New Orleans 20 years, and maybe it sounds like I am, but I'm not.
Your message seemed to indicate you were in some sort of a crisis.
Well, I am because I'm running out of time. It's going to get really cold here, and I don't have anywhere to go. Thought I had somewhere to go, and now this guy just ghosted me. Did a bunch of online signing stuff, signed this, and I signed that, and I said, okay, well, come November 1st, I'm ready to go. And he said, okie dokie, and then I haven't been able to get him on the phone.
Where'd you sleep last night?
I slept underneath a couple of pine trees on Lindale and 84th, I believe.
Are you ever sticking with the same place night after night?
No, that's a bad idea because then you might be a problem.
What have you done all the other years?
Here's the thing. I contacted my boss, my last boss down in New Orleans, and I asked him for my job back, and he said, nope, we don't really need you this year, so here I am. I'm stuck in Minnesota because I'm not going down to New Orleans to job hunt. Not with my medical situation.
What's your medical situation?
I'm on a bunch of medication because I had that stroke in April.
What a mess.
So it's absolutely a mess. It's a catch-22. I've been told I'll lose my medical insurance if I donate plasma.
You got to get your ass over to St. Paul.
Yeah?
And you got to walk in the doors at the Wilder Foundation on University in Lexington. You got to walk in their front doors. Tell them your situation. Right away, they will assign you a caseworker. And there are several categories here they'll be able to address. There is no one simple solution. And you need to listen to what they have to say and begin to follow what they have to say. But this is your ticket. And you talk to me after you visit there and you tell me how it went.
Okay.
But you go there tomorrow.
Will do. I'm willing to try anything now. I thought everything was going to be good after Monday, but now I haven't heard back from the guy that said I had everything going for me.
You got to forget about that for now. Southwest corner, Lexington and University.
Big green building.
No, you're confusing that with Snelling and University.
Yeah, I sure am.
So you get yourself to Lexington and University.
You got it.
You tell the people there that you were advised to go there by a gentleman who knows that these people have folks who can help you, that you can get assigned a caseworker. Now, you be prepared to wait around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like they're sitting around doing nothing. You tell them your situation, and then you let me know where we are after that.
I will do, Mischke. I really appreciate it. And I'll tell you what, it's frustrating, but I know. I'm not the only one out here. That's the thing. I see people that are in way worse situations than I'm in. It just sucks all around. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm heading over to the Wilder tomorrow.
All right.
And I'll wave at you when I pass KSTP on the light rail.
Yes, please do. Methodically lay out the whole picture, including the medical picture.
Okay. Sounds good. Hey,
All right,
thank
Jason.
you. I love your show so much. Take it easy. Thank you.